Hello, my Earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. This is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with a reading that's going to be focusing on lost connections. So this is somebody that you are in separation from, that you haven't heard from, possibly in years. It's been a very long time since you guys have interacted or talked or even connected in any way, shape, or form. So we're going to take a look at that. And it is general as always, guys. It will not resonate with every single person. So please do take from this reading whatever makes sense for you and release the rest. If you are interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information, as always, is down below in the description box. And I will include a link to all of the decks featured here today. So these are the two that I have chosen to start things off with for this reading, both by two amazing soul sisters and deck creators. This first one is by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. It's called the Sacred Ancient Wisdom Oracle. And then this one is by Sister Moon Tarot. It's called Twin Flame Poetic Confessions. So we're going to use these two decks to start things off and grab some focus messages here, Earth signs, and then we'll take a look at the connection with your person that you have lost connection with, or that you guys are just not together. Even though people are in separation, oftentimes those that relate to these readings still feel a very deep bond and connection, even if it is from a distance or in the 5D. So let's go ahead and grab maybe one or two cards from this deck here, Earth signs, to start things off. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. What needs to come through to start this reading off for my Earth signs? Let's grab this one here. This is acceptance. Accept the fact that you cannot control every situation and everyone. And it's true, because everybody's got their own free will. Even though you guys are not together, you're in separation, you have your own free will, so do they. And sometimes what's preventing any sort of healing or movement in a situation is that we're unable to accept what's truly happening in the situation. We might still be really holding on to it, and sometimes that doesn't give the universe a whole lot of wiggle room to work on our behalf. So it's really important to come to a place of acceptance when it comes to this lost connection. Let's grab one more. We have specifically the sign of Scorpio coming through here. So some of you guys might be focused on a Scorpio. Mysterious, fierceness, and intimidating is what this card says. So that's a very specific sign coming through for some of you. It could either be their sun sign, moon sign, Venus. Okay, so definitely if you know their chart, of course, it could be picking up off of their sign there. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and add to this with a message from the Twin Flame Poetic Confessions deck. This could certainly be for my twin flames, those who resonate with a twin flame bond, but these messages could be for anybody, even if you don't identify with a twin flame connection. So let's take a look at that. Let's grab this one here. Okay. It says fear. I don't know if I'll ever find someone to replace you, but I'm also afraid of missing out on my youth. That's what's coming through. So if you resonate with that message in particular, it's tied into your fears, perhaps. Okay, and that's another thing that you need to work on, to detach and just change your vibe, change your energy, and you might just create a shift to manifest a reunion or this connection coming back into your life. Let's grab one more here. Separated. They think I'm whole, but they don't know from true love I chose to run. I'm afraid we will never have our moment under this glorious sun. Okay, I totally butchered that. Let me read that again. Separated. Okay, they think I'm whole, but they don't know from true love I chose to run. Yeah, so this person, Earth signs that you're focused on, maybe they were a runner. Okay, they didn't know a good thing when they had it, or maybe they were just afraid that they were going to mess it up. And now they're coming through that they're afraid we will never have our moment under this glorious sun. So there's definitely fear attached to the energy here, maybe from both of you. And so we're going to have to take a look and see what's been going on in their life since the breakup or separation here. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's start things off with the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle by Aqua Moonlight. Angels and spirit guides, please, for my earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Focusing on your person, this lost connection. What's been going on in their life since the breakup or separation? Have they moved on? Are they stuck in their fears? Have they been unable to accept the fact that you guys are not together? So let's see. Okay, well, some of you guys are dealing with a person who's still roaming wild. Maybe that's how they were when you guys were together. Free-spirited, risks, possibilities. This is somebody who is unable to commit, unable to just be in a solid, loving, long-term committed relationship. Maybe they also had way too many options when it came to love and romance. We have unspoken regrets, lost words, disappointment. Certainly this could be how they made you feel. They disappointed you because they were entertaining too many options. This could have been third-party situations also. But there's a lot here that you guys haven't had a chance to say to each other, and maybe they regret that. But at the same time, they're also coming through as being very free-spirited, and this is still somebody that doesn't want to be tied down, and that really could have contributed to part of the reason why you guys are not together. Let's see what else. What else has been going on in their life since you guys have spoken or interacted? Look at that, letting go, releasing, walking away, moving on. So it does say that they have let this connection go, that they've released it, that they've decided to detach, which is actually not a bad thing here, considering they're still wanting to roam wild. You know, they're maybe doing you a favor. This could be a blessing in disguise, that they're walking away from you, or that obviously they already have done that because this is a lost connection. We have one day. Someday, somewhere, another time. Yeah, well, maybe someday, if they're in the right headspace and in their heart they're ready to commit, then maybe there's a chance that you guys can make this work, but not until they stop, you know, this roaming energy. Because to me, that is indicative of a person that's just maybe casually dating or entering into third-party situations, and they're just not loyal. They're not reliable. Not at this time anyway. So I'm not surprised that we've got this solitary energy, withdrawn, lonesome, and single. This is a lost connection. You might be single at this time, certainly, and they're almost living this bachelor or bachelorette type lifestyle, even though I feel they might be attaching themselves to people romantically, but I just don't feel they're being exclusive, which again could have contributed to the problem and why you guys broke up to begin with. We have depth, complexity, awareness, importance. This situation between you and this person, earth signs, it was not easy. It was very complex. It wasn't so cut and dry. And part of the problem, I feel, is because, first of all, I feel you love them. I feel that in your heart space, in your heart of hearts, this is somebody that you pictured a future with, somebody that you really wanted to build a life with long term, and they just weren't on that same energy level. You know, you guys just maybe had two very different visions of where you wanted this to go. But here's another reference to time, okay? Time, wait, cycles, infinity, one day, someday, somewhere, another time. So who knows what the future has in store, because there's just no guarantee. But maybe you guys might just get a second opportunity if they can just figure out for themselves that you guys belong together, that this roaming wild energy is not something that's going to sustain them moving forward or bring them the happiness that they're looking for, if that's even what it is that they're looking for. So in the meantime, my earth signs, you need to focus on yourself, look in the mirror, that reflection that's staring back at you, and just focus on you. Work on yourself in the meantime to overcome these fears or any negative energy that might still be attached to this connection. Because for some of you, I really do feel it's been a very long time since you guys went your separate ways. But there's a part of you that's maybe still holding on to the hope that this can come back together. And look at this next card. I mean, it's not impossible. Second chance, making amends, opportunity, and plans. So it's not impossible for you guys to bring this back together, but it takes two people to be able to make that happen. Otherwise it just ends up turning into this wishful thinking type vibe, and that's not ultimately where you want to end up, So let's go ahead and add to this with, if I can decide which deck I want to use, let's grab some insight from the Illumination deck. This is by Lightworker Tarot and Oracle. Angels and spirit guides for my earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, regarding this lost connection. What else do we need to know when it comes to this person that the viewer is focused on for this reading? What else has been going on in their life since the breakup or separation? So far, we know that they're still roaming wild, that they're still not ready to commit, that they have moved on. They may have moved on from you, but I don't think they've changed a whole lot. I think this is part of the problem, why you guys broke up to begin with, because they couldn't be exclusive, they could not be loyal, they could not be trusted. They could have been very deceptive with you. Yeah, see, unhealthy patterns. They're still creating this. And this is not something you want to be a part of while they're in that vibe. So for now, it does say approach with caution. You got to be careful with wanting to reconnect with this person for now. That could still change because we do have references to time here. We also have withholding. So this person withholding their emotions, withholding their words. They could have blocked you. This is somebody that does not want to engage with you at this time. We have read between the lines. I love this card. It's so clever. You got to literally read between the lines when it comes to what's happening with this lost connection. You got to trust your gut too. If you're feeling a particular niggle, that's making you feel a particular way, if I can speak. Maybe you feel as though there's been a shift in regard to their energy or how you've been feeling about this connection. Some of you guys might have also gotten some sort of message from this individual. They might be saying one thing, but really meaning something else. They could have sent you a message, a text, a letter, a card, whatever, to let you know that it's not over, that they don't care, that they don't love you, that they're busy being single and exploring what's out there. The grass wasn't greener, blah blah blah, the whole thing. Whatever it is that they told you, I have a feeling here that they're just testing the waters to see where you're at and really wanting you to kind of decode whatever message is between the lines of the actual correspondence or message that they've given you, if that applies. We also have long distance trips. So your person could have taken a trip somewhere to get away from it all. And again, this roaming wild energy, they're not someone who wants to be grounded in one particular location. They might want to move around at this time. And look at the next card. It's time. So many references to time here. Time. It's time. Wait. Cycles. Infinity. One day. Another time. Someday. Somewhere. 3 cards. 3 cards talking about time. And time is fluid. It's constantly changing. So what's coming through here right now, I feel, is going to shift and change again. Your person might have children by now, especially if you guys haven't been together in a long time, or you guys had children together. But it's still coming through as a lost connection because that's what we're focused on. And here's another card. Look at this. Another card tapped into fear. There is fear that's presenting itself here as part of the overall energy and vibe between the two of you. So you got to ask yourself, what is it that you're afraid of? And they need to be mindful of what it is that they are afraid of. I have a feeling here for some of you, your person's afraid to commit. Your person is afraid to settle down and perhaps not be the type of partner that you're looking for. Maybe they're afraid of disappointing you, of hurting you, or just afraid that they are not wanting the same things that you do. You know, there's so many things tied into this fear. And maybe from your end, part of your fear is that this is never going to come back together, that they have detached, they've released you, they've blocked you, they've moved on, they've walked away, they're now with somebody else. All of these fears are going through your heart space and your head. But in the meantime, it truly is important for you to work on yourself and get rid of these unhealthy patterns that perhaps is what contributed to the breakup between the two of you to begin with. Okay, so let's add some tarot. This is a brand new deck by my dear friend Amy of Calico Moon. It's called the Pining Rose Tarot. Very first time, actually, that I'm using it. So let's add to this, Earth signs. Let's continue to take a look at what the overall energy is for your person, this lost connection, and where they're at in their life right now, the journey that they've traveled since you guys have last seen each other or even talked to each other. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus when it comes to this lost connection. What's going on? Well, 6 of Cups, they still think about you, though. They're still quite nostalgic and reminiscing about the connection. They might be roaming wild. They might be in and out of casual relationships. But in their heart, you're there. They remember you. For some of you guys, this could be young love. This could be somebody that you have so much history with. You guys could have grown up together. This could be childhood sweethearts. There's this level of innocence when it comes to this connection. But there's love. There's so much love tied into that. And feeling nostalgic, remembering the good times, memories of love, moments that you guys have shared, intimate moments that you have had with each other. And look at the next card. You have the Sun. Happiness, illumination, success, positivity. My gosh. So I have a feeling here, Earth signs, that when this person is feeling nostalgic about you, it's tied into these happy energies of the Sun, happy memories. They remember you, and it brings the happiness back into their heart, I feel. They could also be quite successful in their own life, you know, because they have moved on. So not just necessarily their love life, of course, but other aspects of their life. They could be very successful. They could be quite successful in their career, their other non-romantic relationships, their health. You know, this could apply to all of that. This is ultimately the most positive card in tarot, and it's presenting itself right next to the 6 of Cups, which I forgot to mention is water energy. So for some of you, you might be focused on a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. And this is all about unions and marriages also. So what I'm feeling for some of you when it comes to this lost connection, they may have moved on, certainly. This applies to some because I feel some of you guys are dealing with a person who's still roaming wild and really not wanting to commit anywhere or to a person. But I do feel for some of you, your individual that you're focused on for this reading They now have children. They could have gotten married by now, but they still get into that mode where they feel very nostalgic about the connection with you and are remembering the good times that you both have had. We have the Judgment card right after that. That inner calling. Rebirth. Decisions that need to be made in one's life. This is picking up off of fire energy. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius for some of you guys. This is a resurrection right here from the Judgment card. The revelation of the truth. It's a transformation. It's a passage. It is a wake-up call for your person. Part of this wake-up call for some of you guys is that they're done roaming wild. They know that they've walked away from you. Because part of the Judgment energy is somebody who wants forgiveness and somebody who is wanting a reconciliation. And if that's what you're wanting too, Earth signs, then in time, as these cards have referenced, there's so many references to time here, you might just hear from them to let you know that they're ready to commit, that they want to bring this back together, that they still love you, that they miss you. I would not be surprised if that does come forward in that way. It's time for you guys to just be honest with each other. If you are able to have the opportunity to come face to face and talk about why this connection was lost to begin with. And there are those of you tuning in and you know exactly why you guys had to part. And if they're wanting to come back towards you, they need to get rid of whatever these healthy patterns are. And if part of those patterns had anything to do with third parties, infidelity, cheating, lies, secrets, they couldn't be loyal to you, they didn't want to commit, they were afraid to commit, they didn't want to settle down. Whatever the challenge is or was that contributed to this unhealthy pattern, there's a reason why the angels are directing you to approach this with caution, because it all comes down to timing, which is why we have so many references to time here. So many. This is also about the need to bury the past, because you can't travel back in time to change it anyway. The damage has been done. So it's time to start fresh. That's a part of the energy of the Judgment card too. And then you've got the World card right after it, which is amazing. Completion of a cycle, accomplishment. It could also be indicative of travel for some of you guys. And we already have long distance trip right here. So if you are far away from each other geographically, you guys might ultimately plan a trip. Or maybe you might hear from them and they want to come visit you, to travel to your part of the world, wherever you are, to see you, to talk, to make amends. A second chance. So, obviously you can't foretell when they're going to reach out to you. I certainly can't, because everybody's got their own free will and their own perception of time and where they're at in their life. But I am picking up here that they are still thinking about you. They do miss you. They remember the good times, the happy times that you guys have shared. And there are some of you who are still feeling this person's energies. It doesn't matter if it happened last year, a few months ago, 5, 10 years ago. You made an impact in this person's life and it changed them for the better, whether they will ever come to let you know that or not. Because remember, we've got unspoken words here, words that have never been spoken between the two of you. There's so much that needs to be expressed here that has not been. But the World card is here, so something needs closure. So even though you guys are in separation, this is a lost connection. You haven't been in touch in a long time is what I'm feeling. Some of you guys never got that closure. Well, we've got this card. It's time. It's time for that cycle to come to completion once and for all so that you can start a new cycle. To be happy, to be triumphant, to find peace in your heart, peace when it comes to this relationship. Whether it ever comes back together or not, maybe that's all some of you need is closure and peace. To know that you made the right decision to walk away if you walked away. To know that this ended for a reason. To know that maybe it was a blessing in disguise as to why you guys are not together. If you want a second chance, if they want a second chance, we've got messages here coming through that it's possible. It is possible to find happiness once again. Because the World card does give a romantic connection the opportunity to start over on a much more solid foundation. I feel the initial foundation that you guys had built together, it just wasn't strong because your person wasn't able to commit to you to help you build a strong foundation. And in order to do that with a reconciliation, they need to be ready to help you do that instead of coming towards you with this unhealthy pattern of how they were before, unable to be exclusive, to commit to you, to be honest with you, and to stop this energy of roaming wild and infidelity and dishonesty and all of the challenges that you guys had dealt with before. Your person could also be in this Eight of Swords energy. I mean, look at the energy of this photo. Self-imposed restrictions, imprisonment, victim mentality, you know? So maybe your person feels like they were a victim in all this. And they could have also, as this card states, self-imposed restrictions. Maybe they just stopped themselves from reaching out to you because they know or knew that they just weren't good for you. So they confined themselves, imprisoned themselves into this mental state of believing that they weren't good for you or that they weren't worthy of love. This is also tapped into air energy, so this could be an air sign that you're dealing with, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Because this is definitely somebody who's feeling restricted. And if some of you guys have blocked this person from social media, from contacting you, maybe that's where this is coming from. That you drew the line, that you restricted communication, maybe. We also have the Nine of Swords. Look at this, followed by the Ten of Swords. You know, this is where your person is at since you guys have been in separation. This is some heavy stuff right here. The Nine of Swords, I mean, wow. Anxiety, insomnia, nightmare, and fears. There's fears coming through again. So there's no doubt in my mind that when it comes to your person, my earth signs, they're afraid. That is the energy that they have allowed themselves to be saturated in. And as long as they are in that energy of fear, they're not going to be able to come towards you as a better person, having healed themselves, having worked on themselves. And part of the fears too is that maybe they're afraid that you would reject them anyway, so why bother? They're losing sleep over this. They might certainly be having nightmares over this. Maybe on the surface, or especially if you do follow them on social media and everything looks to seem on the surface like everything's cool, everything's good, that might not be the case behind closed doors. And when it comes to the connection, this lost connection, Ten of Swords, painful endings, betrayal, crisis, emotional wounds. Exactly. this hurt. This hurt you, this hurt them. And if you were dealing with somebody who was bad at commitment, who was a cheater, who was dishonest with you, didn't treat you right, they contributed to this pain. By hurting you, they ended up hurting themselves. That's what's been going on with your person since you guys have been in separation. That's some heavy stuff, but believe me, they think about you. They miss you. They remember those happy times. And there are those of you who will more than likely hear from this person when they're ready, when they are finally past their fears of wanting to reach out to you. Because we've got references here to somebody who wants to make amends, second chances, and a reunion. The Six of Cups ultimately represents a reunion, someone from your past who wants to come back to you. Okay, so I wanted to grab some dialogue messages. This is a brand new deck for me by my soul sister, Angelic Revelation 144, A Connection Lost Somewhere in Time, messages for my lost love. So let's take a look and see, my earth signs. What are the messages from your lost love? If they had the opportunity to just say what they needed to say. Because clearly with these unspoken words between the two of you, there's so much that has not been expressed here. So messages for your lost love, either to your lost love or from, so take it for how it makes sense for you. Some of these words could certainly be things that you've been wanting to get off your chest, things that you've been wanting to say to your lost love. So we'll grab a few from here and whichever one you're most guided towards. Let's take a look. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, my earth signs. What does your lost love want to say to you, or what is it that you want to say to your lost love? Please bring it forward, angels and spirit guides, for my earth signs, for this lost connection. What needs to be expressed here? There's so much that needs to be said, so let's give you guys the opportunity to say it. I already see karmic cycles here and running away. Yeah, that's exactly what they did, I feel. Roaming wild, running away from commitment, fear, the whole 9 yards. All right, let's start with this one. Karmic cycles. I wish that we could just learn the lessons faster so we can reunite soon. This journey has been so hard and I just long to be with you, see? So there are definitely karmic lessons, karmic cycles that need to be addressed here. It hasn't been an easy journey. This has been hard for you guys. But as you can see here, they're coming through letting you know they long to be with you still. The next message, running away. I am sorry that I ran away. I kept on running because I was trying to outrun the pain. Yeah, I do feel that that is the case for some of you. Next message. How can you lose someone who isn't yours? You have always been my lover, even when you have been in the arms of another. Darling, you are my eternal love. Now remember, more than likely this is coming through for or from the person that you're thinking about for this reading. And this is a question that they're asking you. How can you lose someone who isn't yours? So to me, that's tied into third-party situations. They know you are in the arms of another, but they still consider you to be their eternal love. And I just kind of feel for some of you guys, and this isn't going to resonate with everybody, that part of the reason why they are so reckless in their relationships, getting in and out of just really bad toxic connections, is because they've been hurt either in the past, and obviously in the connection with you, they can't be with you. So rather than settling down and working on themselves, They're just roaming wild, you know? And people who have been hurt tend to hurt other people. And this is truly contributing to this unhealthy pattern that's coming forward from this individual. Next message, devastation. I always knew that losing you would devastate me. Despite the risk, I loved you fearlessly, hoping that our time together would make up for the pain your loss would eventually bring. That is pretty heavy stuff. They're devastated because you guys have lost this connection. But they definitely still think about you. This person loves you, I feel. Despite the risk of a third-party situation, despite the risk of getting caught, despite whatever risks they took for you guys to be together. Risks that you took as well, if you were already in a relationship. Wow. All right, so if you resonate with that one. Next one, rejection. You hurt me so much when you refused my offer of friendship. All I could give you was my love in this way, but you turned your back on me. That's coming through for some of you. And maybe that's all that they were able to offer. Especially if, obviously, what you were looking for was something way more than friendship. And part of the reason for the rejection, I feel, from your end, my earth signs, is because perhaps you knew that they were roaming wild, that you weren't the only one that they were involved with or that they were talking to. They could have just created this third-party situation. That's not what you were looking for here. And then we've got just friends. I tried to be just friends with you, but seeing you with another lover was heartbreaking. So this is somebody who doesn't want to just be friends with you because they're attracted to you. They love you. They care for you. They're still thinking about the times that you guys have shared together. So again, what I feel for some of you is that they're just living recklessly when it comes to their relationships because they have been hurt. Their heart is broken because they can't be with you. That's a part of the energy. That's a part of the issue here, a part of the obstacle, because I feel from my earth signs that are resonating with this portion of these messages, you may have already moved on to somebody else, or you were with someone to begin with. And this started off as a third-party situation for some of you guys, but you guys fell in love. There were real feelings that were exchanged here, but it did create a very unhealthy pattern because of the deception, infidelities, boundaries that were crossed. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up. And then the last one, passionate tension. We trigger each other and argue because the passion between us is so intense. I do pick up off of that this was a very passionate, magnetic connection between the two of you. Which is why even despite having this 10 of Swords experience in the relationship, you guys are still struggling to maybe fully detach from this because it was so fiery and magnetic and hot and passionate. Certainly the physical connection was very passionate and intense. So those are some of the messages, guys, coming forward from your lost love here. All right, so I really want to add to this with some additional messages here. So I'm going to pull from my HeartSpace Oracle deck. This is my self-created one. So if you're interested in purchasing this one, I will of course include the link down below. So we've heard from your lost love, and some of these words could of course be from you. But I want to focus on my earth signs now and truly what's in your heart. What is it that you want to say to them? So I'm focusing on you specifically, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, for these messages and what it is that you need to get off your chest when it comes to your person, your lost love. Angels and spirit guides, please, for my earth signs. What do you, the viewer, want to say to your lost love? So we'll grab a few from here. And as always, take what resonates. Let's grab the bottom. All right. What? Oh boy. Okay. This is you talking now. Fuck, I miss you. I know you do. That's why we've got the Six of Cups, which is nostalgia. So not only is your person feeling nostalgic about the good times you guys have shared, but you get very nostalgic yourself. Next message. No one gets me like you do. No one. You know, you guys just click. You guys were just very compatible with one another. And, you know, this is coming through for some of you that even though you guys are apart, even though this is a lost connection, nobody else has been able to fill this void. Nobody else understands you or gets you like this person. Another message from you to your lost love. I'm 24 carats. You went after fool's gold. You fool. You know, so this is you letting them know. It's like you had the real thing and you fucked it up. Sorry, not sorry, you know? And if you want me back, you better come towards me right. That's what that's talking about. You're not going to put up with their bullshit. Next message. I heard you loud and clear. Whatever it was that they said to you, you know, it packed a punch. And you're acknowledging whatever it was that they said to you. And you might even be replaying that conversation in your head. Either this is coming from a good place or it isn't. You know, I heard you loud and clear. Maybe what you heard was that they loved you or that they just couldn't commit to you. Whatever it is that's attached to that, you got the message. And you're letting them know that. Next message. We're star-crossed lovers. Why can't the stars just mind its own business and let us be together? Damn. Yeah, you guys have had quite a lot of challenges that were basically pulling you guys apart. Obstacles that kept getting in the way. So there's this desire to still want to be together, but it's just not ideal. It's not the right time because there are obstacles that need to be removed in order for this to happen. To make sure that the stars are aligned for you guys to be together. And right now, it isn't. That's why we've got so many references to time here, because it's going to take time. And last one from you to your lost love. Please come back. I can't do life without you. So some of you guys, you're still struggling since you guys went into separation and you still want this person back. That life has been quite challenging without this person in it. It hasn't been easy. You miss them. You still want them back. And, you know, again, we've got references here to second chances and reunions and reconciliation. So it's not impossible that this can still come back around. I do pick up off of that vibe. I do pick up off of that. All right, guys, so let's close this out here. Let me see what deck I want to use. I'm going to go ahead and close this out with my go-to healing deck, because this has not been an easy journey for either of you, but I do feel for the majority, your person definitely contributed to the drama because they were bad at commitment, or they cheated on you, or betrayed you, or were deceptive towards you. They weren't able to Just do the right thing. And, you know, too many challenges got in the way. But what I can tell you is that there are those of you that will have the opportunity to come back together. A second chance at love. You do have the World card here. That's giving you the opportunity to be able to start over, start fresh, and to be able to build a much stronger foundation from what you guys had to begin with. So again, it might actually be a blessing in disguise that you guys are not together right now. So allow time to continue to do its healing. And when the time is right, if it's meant for you, it will come back for you. Okay, so healing messages. Look at that. You've got miracles. Miracles are coming in for you. Amazing when it comes to this connection. And you're being divinely guided at this time. And so is your person. They might be roaming wild for now, but I feel the universe has a plan when it comes to this lost connection. The universe has a plan. Let's grab a couple more. Retreat. Yeah, so for now, you just need to take a step back. Just allow life to happen. Allow time to continue. Allow the universe to create movement in however way it needs to present itself in this connection. All you need to do is focus on yourself. That's it. All right, one last message. One last healing message, please, for the collective, for my earth signs. Look at that. New beginnings. That's a fresh start right there, guys. You and this lost love might just have a new beginning in the horizon here. And, you know, again, I feel for those of you who haven't seen this person in forever, they still think about you. There's a part of their heart space that still holds those memories. They haven't forgotten about you. That's not going to happen. I don't care how long it's been. New beginnings are possible. Second chances are possible. Reunions, reconciliations are all possible. And maybe you thought that this is impossible. That's why you've got a miracle that's going to help bring things together for you. Truly, if it's meant to be, it will be. All right, guys, so that's where I'm going to leave this one. I do hope whatever part of it resonated for you and your lost love, that it brought you some sense of peace to know that there's a chance that this can still come back together. Okay, if that, of course, is what you're wanting. And that's it for now, guys. If you're interested in your own personal private reading, all of that info is down below in the description box. I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you guys real soon. Take care.